Hi guys. So we are a little bit late for our live today. This is our first live in a series that's going on all week and into next week too. And I'd love to send you, by the way, the whole schedule so you know what's happening. And if there's any change in the schedule, I can let you know. And then when the replay is ready, I can share that. So please, I didn't set it up. I'll tell you why I'm flustered in a second, but I didn't set up what I was going to set up for you to let me know how I can send you the schedule. So please comment the word workshop after this live is over, and I will make sure that I get it to you right away. I really want you to have the details that we're talking about today, links and references. And I also really want to keep you updated with what the workshops are going to be. All these free workshops, really exciting stuff, and a lot of other accounts are joining in as well. So it's just way too much to explain. But I want to send you an email and try to explain it all. So please sign up for the workshop schedule, and I will make sure you have all the goodness on all this free resources. So I was just outside, and we were going to do our live in the sugarbush because I needed to collect some sap, and I was going to collect it with you. This is directly out of one of our buckets. This is sap right out of one of our maple trees, and I try to drink at least one, if not 2 or 3 glasses of this every day during sugar season. It's so good for you. So first thing, let me know if you've ever tried tree sap. I'm actually serious, and I'm not talking about pine sap or oak sap, but some really delicious, really good for you tree sap. Let me know if you've ever tried it. I'll share with you a fun fact in some of our later workshops about a way to make this extra tasty, so everybody in the family is going to absolutely love it, even though it's really absolutely good, just like this too. Let me know if you have questions about this, and let me know any thoughts you have as we go. Is it me or is the sound off? Oh, could somebody let me know if you can hear me? It looks like on my end, everything is on and working, but Homemade with Chelsea is having trouble hearing. Everybody else, nice to see you in here. Could somebody just let me know if you can hear me? Because if you can't, I have no idea why, and maybe I'll just have to restart. Let me know. Just waiting to hear from somebody, hoping somebody can hear me. I'm hoping all of you can hear me. So anyway, I'm out in the sugar bush. I have my cup in hand. I have the live set up. I seriously actually hit the live button. Maybe you guys saw a blip of that like 5 or 10 minutes ago. And then the sky opened up. At first it was just drizzling a little bit, and I thought that's fine. But then it started within 5 seconds coming down really hard, and I'm thinking, I can't leave my phone sit here while I'm collecting sap and the rain is pouring. So I ran in. So we're going to be inside for this live. Oh, good. Haley says the sound is good for her, and Regina can hear. Good, awesome. So sorry, Chelsea, maybe you need to, well, you can't hear me, so why am I telling you? Maybe you need to download a new version of the Instagram app is what I was going to say. Okay. So many things I wanted to tell you, and I'm feeling all out of sorts, not remembering what I wanted to tell you. So let me bring you over here because I do have a few notes so I don't forget. So this week, well, for 10 days actually, you can get access, full access to Maple Syrup University. It's an in-depth master course that I released, was it last sugar season or 2 years ago? I'm not even sure. All about how to tap trees and make your own sugar to truly be self-reliant with your sugar. Even if you don't have a maple tree and you don't live in the maple belt, this course walks you through sincerely ways that most people can make at least some syrup. And it also gives you many alternative trees that you can tap. But even if none of that is for you, it shares with you how you can take maple syrup that you purchase and turn it into maple sugar, a shelf-stable sugar that can be kept at room temperature indefinitely, so you don't have to worry about storing it. Storing it? Storing it. So, Maple Syrup University, trust me, it's really a course for everybody. It is in-depth, and I think you will love it. You can get it entirely free as part of the Homestead bundle that has just come out today. It's available only for 10 days. The resources in there are insane, guys. There are over 70 resources. I have a list here, but I'm not going to read it all off because it's just too long. It's insane. There are resources about cooking, resources about canning and preserving your food in a lot of ways. My course about maple syrup, reducing waste with your meal planning, creating DIY home products of all sorts. There's even beekeeping, and there's even how to make an income from your homestead or small farm. So much stuff, and that isn't even scratching the surface. All of it for $50. The thing is, if you get it through my link, I want to make sure, because I'm super excited about the other thing we're talking about now. I'm super excited that Fresh Flower University is out there in the world. The doors are open. Sorry about the frog in my throat. So, if you get the Homestead Bundle, I want to make sure to share with you the Fresh Flower Formula. It is a resource that exists nowhere else. I'm not kidding. This isn't for anyone else except for folks who choose to get this Homestead Bundle through my link. If you comment workshop, I will send you every detail on how you can get the Fresh Flower Formula. But while you're live, if you don't want to have to wait to comment that, because unfortunately if you comment it now, I'm not going to be able to see it once the live goes live. There's a link in my bio. It's the last link that says the bundle. Go there, and that tells you everything you need to know about how you can get Fresh Flower Formula and the extra gifts I have for you. I have an exclusive code on your choice of a Nutri-Mill grain mill, and I have an exclusive code on saving money on my absolute favorite lids. 2 different kinds of lids to choose from for storing wheat berries. Okay. Hope that makes sense. I wanted to whiz through that before getting to the second part of our workshop today. If you signed up for the schedule, you already know what we're talking about is what they don't tell us about flour. And I think it's crazy that, for me at least, people like myself can go for years and years at working at improving everything they're putting on their dinner table, really making an effort to have more real food in their kitchen, and yet never think about this very basic ingredient that infects everything that we're baking and a lot of things that we're cooking. That's where I was, at least for 7 years. I wasn't really thinking about the importance of what flour I was using. So the things they don't tell us about flour, I don't know if you caught my reel that's gone kind of viral. One thing, I had Gary Levitt on the podcast a few weeks ago, and a little snippet that he was talking about has really gotten a lot of traction here on Instagram. And some people are saying it's a conspiracy theory and we're crazy, but trust me, you can do the research. It is very true. They will use duck feathers and human hair to create a conditioner for the flour that will make the bread have a better rise and be fluffier. And I don't know the why. I assume it's cheaper. I assume it's the cheapest way that the big food companies can put this conditioner in the flour and get the results they want. I mean, why else do they do things other than to make money, right? I don't know, but it's true. Duck feathers and human hair can be used as a conditioner in our flour. Flour can also be bromated, which this is what I need in my notes for because I always forget what it is that they add to the flour when they bromate it. But I think I had it here. It is potassium bromate. That shouldn't be too hard to remember, Michelle. They add potassium bromate, which is an improver for the dough. It enhances the rise, just like the duck feathers and the human hair. But there's this concern that it's a carcinogen, and studies have shown it very well might be causing cancer, and they're doing it to our flour. Not all flour, but some of it. Of course, some flour is also bleached, right? And unless you're spending the big bucks to get the organic flour, unfortunately, I think it's almost 100% likely that your wheat berries that were turned into that flour were sprayed with glyphosate at some point. So you're getting carcinogens that way as well. If you forget about the bleach and you forget about the bromate and you forget about the duck feathers and the human hair, unfortunately, you also might be getting some glyphosate. I mean, I'm laughing because you have to laugh or you just kind of go crazy with all these details, right? Okay, so why am I telling you all this? Because when I started to really understand the content of the flour that I was using, and the first thing I did was I went for the more expensive. I got the King Arthur organic, unbleached. But then I started understanding that even that is dead. It doesn't have nutrients. So here's the other thing they tell us. They tell us our flour is enriched, right? And they do indeed add some nutrients. The government decided to do that back in the 40s when there was a food scarcity because of the war. They decided, let's pump some vitamins into this totally useless flour, because back in 1880, a steel roller mill was developed that the millers realized they could take out 2 parts of the wheat berry. That's where I should have started, telling you about the wheat berry. I could have just grabbed a few, but they're not close by. The wheat berry, that tiny little berry that comes out of the wheat in the field, has 3 parts. And back in 1880, they understood if they could remove 2 of those 3 parts with this brand new steel roller that was invented, then their flour would be shelf stable. Until then, flour was crushed between stones and the whole part of the wheat berry was included, and the flour had to be used within a week or 2, maybe a month at the longest, or it could start to go rancid. They didn't understand why back in the 1800s, but science knows why today, because 2 of those 3 parts of the wheat berry will start to degrade when it's oxidized. One specific part of the wheat berry is the house of all of the fats and the oils. And it's also the house of all the nutrients. So they realized if they could take that out, that's the germ. There's 3 parts, the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. The bran is what's loaded with fiber, so important for us. And then the germ has the healthy fats and oils, and it has all the nutrients. It's like the little powerhouse of this little wheat berry. But they realized if they took that out, they were just left with the endosperm, which is just starch, guys. Starch and gluten. That's all that's left. That's what they kept when they came up with this steel roller mill. And then all of a sudden they had flour that was shelf stable. People could buy it and it could sit around for years and be totally fine. It wouldn't go rancid. So fast forward to World War II, and they realized that they needed to add, sorry, there's stuff going on outside, to add nutrients because they were worried about our population not having access to enough good food. So let's improve the flour, because they realized at that point the flour was totally dead. They had taken all the nutrients out. Sure, it was good for making cookies or cakes or breads, but it wasn't giving any nutrients to anyone. So they said, let's add it back in. What they didn't know about in the 1940s was something called cofactors. They didn't understand that real food, maple syrup that you make from your trees, or flour that you can grind yourself if you crush the wheat berries in your mill on your kitchen counter, or that you grow in your garden. We're going to be learning a lot about that this week in workshops with the Homestead Bundle. All that real food has cofactors. And even if there are some parts of it that aren't ideal, there are other parts that help our body process all of it, including the good stuff. So all those vitamins and nutrients in the germ are housed right there beside the oils and the fats, because our body, there's a lot of vitamins we can't process without the fat, because they're fat-soluble vitamins. So when we decided to take out all that good stuff and then make up for it by putting some of the good stuff back in, first of all, we only added about 20% back of what we took out. But second of all, it's really no good to us because there's no fat there that our body needs to absorb those nutrients. So it's all kind of nutty and crazy. And part of the problem is that science was just a little behind the game and we just didn't quite understand what we were doing to our flour back then. But we know now. There's no excuse for it. Like, we can mill our own flour. We can have a grain mill on our counter and we can process these wheat berries and have fresh flour instantly and get all 3 parts of the wheat berry with all of the good stuff in it. So that gets me really excited. And that's where I just wanted to start today, is to just explain to you the difference between the commercial flour you buy at the store and what you can make at home. Unfortunately, there's one more thing that a lot of people don't talk about. If you follow a lot of accounts that talk about fresh flour, we all get excited about it, but what a lot of people don't talk about is it's really not quite so easy as it might look. It's not the same. Oh my goodness, California, come here. Come here. The joys of doing it live. Okay, stop it. Hush, 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 hush. All right, guys, come here. Stop it. There's nothing there. There's literally nothing there. Everybody, come here. Come here. Come here. No. Hush. 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 All right. There literally was nothing outside. There was nothing there. Hush. Hush. Good hush. Now go lay down. Go back to laying down. Go lay down. Okay. I have no idea what I was saying. Anybody want to remind me what I was saying? Hi, guys. I'm guessing all of you can hear me, and that is very good. If not for laughter, we would cry, says Michelle. Absolutely. So who comes up with this? I'm guessing, Jane, maybe you're referring to the duck feathers and the human hair. I mean, it's true. If it can save money and we can figure this stuff out. But don't worry, by the way, the duck feathers and the human hair, they refine it and they crush it up and they bleach it. So it's safe, guys. They bleach it. Like you said, Michelle, we have to laugh so we don't cry, right? Good, Erin. I'm glad you can hear. Okay. By the way, please make sure you come back when this is over in just a minute and comment the word workshop. If you're catching this after it's live, if you're catching the replay, comment the word workshop, and I will send you my latest podcast episode that just came out today. Just came out this morning. And I will send you that podcast episode that tells you more about the duck feathers and the human hair. And I will send you my ultimate guide to choosing a grain mill if it's something you've been thinking about and you're interested in. And I'll make sure you get the information about the homestead bundle and the fresh flour formula. All that stuff I'll send you. Just comment the word workshop. I want to explain to you a little bit more about that amazing freebie that I put together for you. If you do want to dive into the homestead bundle, there's 4 parts to this fresh flour formula. Yeah, 4 parts, Michelle. You have to know your wheat berry. I think that's where a lot of people get tripped up when they're trying to make their own flour. You really have to understand the nuances of the wheat berries. In fresh flour formula, I break down a couple of the most popular ones, and I help you understand the flavor profile and the best uses for those wheat berries. So if you're making cookies versus bread, what ones you want to be using and why. The second part of the fresh flour formula is knowing your recipes. I'm going to share with you how, basically an insider tip for converting your favorite recipes to fresh flour recipes. There are tips you need to know. Third part of the formula is knowing your blends. There are tips you can know that can make fresh flour more like commercial flour blends. You know how you can buy bread flour or cake flour. You can know the right tips to make your fresh flour more like the commercial flour. It's never going to be the same, which is a good thing. We really don't want our fresh flour to be exactly like commercial flour, but we can do things to make it more like it so our family thinks the recipes taste the same as they're used to, if that makes sense. And the fourth part of the fresh flour formula that I put together for you is how to know your limits, to discover the easiest flour choices, your fresh flour, to use and to discover the easiest recipes to start with and get more of an expert with before you dive into everything with fresh flour. So those 4 parts are the 4 parts of the fresh flour formula that I put together for everybody who dives in to the Homestead Bundle, because there's nothing in there about fresh flour, and you need it. You need to know it. So that's the scoop that I wanted to give you. Please, unfortunately, Jody, I can't send you, and Gina, I can't send you the workshop information until after the live. And unfortunately, when I hit the publish button, I won't have your Instagram handles. So please come back in just a few minutes and comment that again. All parts of the wheat germ when you mill it yourself. Yes, that's what Vilcanery Brene says. Okay. Yes, Erin, fresh flour facts that we definitely are not made aware of. I mean, Big Food really doesn't want us to educate ourselves with all of this. They really don't want us to know it. And here's the sad part. When Big Food realizes that we're starting to educate ourselves, they take that on as one more marketing scam. And suddenly the processed crappy foods start to get the right labels on them to deceive us, to make us think, oh, look, this buzzword. I know that I'm supposed to increase my protein. Look, the buzzword protein is on all the things here on this shelf at the grocery store, because they are the best marketers in the world. So educate yourself and really work at the basic ingredients that you can make better. Those are the best tips that I can give you. And I will tell you, the Homestead Bundle is going to help you a ton with all of that. So this has been fun. It's just the first of many. It was very disheveled because of the rain and the dogs. So hopefully we'll get a little more organized as the week goes on. But this is going to go into next week as well. Yeah, so I'm going to hop off now and start pulling together all those things I just promised you that I will send you for those of you who comment workshop. I'm going to have some more sap to drink. Nobody told me if you've ever had tree sap to drink. Let me know. Looking. I'm going to make sure I don't miss if somebody did. It's really delicious. We'll talk more about this later in the week because you need to know what this tastes like and why it's so good. But that's it for now, guys. Thanks so much for joining me.